For those who don't know, we're entering into a new year according to the Most High, the real spring, not the spring Babylonian solstice that they talk about. The real change of seasons happens sundown March 15th. That's the new year according to the Most High, according to the cycle of Sabbaths. And I'm going to do a little explanation at the very end of the lesson. Of course, we're going to have a get-together this evening, so I can't be on too long, so I'm going to try to go right into it. We're going to touch on two things today. The first thing we're going to touch on, I say that I would go into, is the worships or the pagan worships of other nations, and how they're now, through the New Age movement, introducing to our people predominantly. You can see this in America and in Europe. They're rolling out the Buddhist religion as it's some New Age religion that people that are high strung, or people, when I say high strung, up in high society, it's more so what you would call a yuppie religion, or the new religion, or the new wave, or the new fad. A lot of people are going into the Persian religions, or what they would call Buddhism today, or becoming Buddhist, thinking that it's a new age type religion. That's really the same religion and the same ideology being pushed by witches and warlocks and pagans, and Oprah Winfrey. She's really the person who has spearheaded this particular religion into our community. But outside of that, even before she came on the scene, speaking of particularly going into Buddhist, before she came on the scene, we had the Tina Turner story that was promoted amongst society. What love's got to do with it? And the world societies really accomplish so many agendas with that particular movie. Number one, they made black men out to be nothing but terrorists against women. That's number one. And we're not condoning anything that Ike Turner is dealing with, but to promote that story opposed to all the feel-good stories out there of relationships between people of color was really disrespectful. They was able to move the women's liberal movement in with that particular movie. All right, having black women liberate themselves, a continued perpetual separation of family that they've been perpetrating on us for years. On top of that, what freed Tina Turner according to that particular movie? You got it. Buddhist, being a Buddhist, dealing with an alternative religion outside of what really was her grassroots spiritual upbringing. Keep in mind, Tina Turner learned how to sing and did all her singing to Christ. She was singing in the Christian church. You understand? So here it is. The gifts that the Most High gave her was now hijacked by Satan when she joined so-called the Buddhist religion. And so many sisters who are hurt, who've dealt with hard relationships in the black community, seen that as an outlet as well. So now all throughout the United States, amongst our people, which was really a minority in that particular religion, have now jumped ship, no longer worship Christ, and follow Buddhist religions. Why is it now that particular religion, that Asian religion, that old ancient religion, have now become the passé religion? Okay? Why? Especially amongst us who were once people who only followed and took direction from the Bible alone. So when they introduce you to this particular type of religion, they usually claim that, well, Buddha just was a good guy who came in and did philanthropy, did good things in Asia, And because he brought people together, they honored him as a good person. See, that's usually the feel-good story to introduce you to it, because who can reject someone that's doing good towards others? That's really the cover that they'll give new converts or those who really don't understand the core root of Satanism embedded within the Buddhist religion. They can't tell you right out that you're worshiping Satan, so they'll give you a feel-good story about this one guy that they claim is Buddha that came through and did good things. Well, then I have questions for Buddhists concerning that particular story. If that's so, and Buddha was a good guy that did good and all these things, why is it that there's not just male Buddhists that's worshipped, but there's also female Buddhists that's worshipped? A full woman worshipped as a Buddha. So really, that feel-good story about one guy doing good is really a trick or a trap, so that we can try to, in our minds, compare that philanthropy to what we believe to be our Lord and Savior Christ. So they'll use that male story in comparison to make you think, well, y'all have Christ, we have Buddha, but that's not the case at all. It's really Satanism. Now I'm going to give you some examples of how we can recognize Satanism and give some detailed information with research, and I thank the Most High for my brother Yarak Miel, who have given me many details and have did some extensive research to help us with this particular lesson today. Now, it's not going to take long. We're just going to touch on the Buddhist movement because it's underlined. Most people out there don't even understand how this is being cloaked as it's really an imposition. It's really a intrusion on our way of life, and it's being cloaked as some feel-good alternative religion. So we're going to go into a few of it today and link it to mainstream society, how it's pushed in all parts of society. But because we as a people, especially children of slaves, have no idea of ancient religions and its purpose, we accept something old, something that's ancient, something satanic as new and passé. Now, most people don't know out there, brothers and sisters, I'm speaking mainly to the children of slaves right now, don't know anything about the ins and outs of the Buddhist religion. We're normally introduced to those particular religions in innocent, what I would say, in innocent invitings, such as yoga class. You don't expect to be worshiping Satan, just exercising, right? Meditation and yoga, nice music and stretching. You can stretch without it being yoga. So what's really going on? What is the underlying spirit behind that particular practice? Yoga classes, that sounds chic. That sounds what they call in our world sexy. Then they have, and I grew up doing it, invited into karate classes or martial arts class. There's nothing wrong with learning to defend themselves and defend yourself and learn different parts of the arts. That's the good part. But also when you see the yin and yang and different dragons and all that around you, usually children ignore those things. You're just going to class, it's recreation, keeping you off the streets. Your parents don't see anything of it. But when you start getting up in the arts and becoming very good, then your martial arts teacher start to teach you certain things and won't tell you what it is. They'll teach you how to breathe a certain type of way and how to say a certain word when you punch. You don't know you're saying a God's name. You're just feeling that energy. Okay? But when I started doing research, it started blowing me away that some of the same chants that we were doing in martial arts were actually gods, fallen gods from ancient times. I didn't realize that up until my age now. When I started looking at some of the words and some of the things they're doing, I was like, man, they were actually training children to call in these ancient deities. I mean, these ancient spirits and give them power to fight. That's being ignored in karate classes now. Okay, so a lot of these things when you see in these karate pictures, when they're doing these different moves and look like they're flying and all that, those are ancient spirits that they called upon to help them do supernatural things. And these are the same deities in Buddhism that they have our people and others call on to help them with certain things in their life, even outside of martial arts now. On every little facet of their life, they open up this box and in the morning ring this bell and ask and pray to get help in their life for different areas, no matter what it is. Healing, family, protection, the same things that we used to go to Christ for, now our people go to Satan for. Right out. And I'm going to tell you right now, the Buddhist religion is interchangeable and is connected to the hip with Islam. It's all, that whole religion itself was first called, before Islam, Persian mythology. It's an Asian religion. It's a Japhetic religion. Okay? Now, to touch on these things. We have the two Babylons? Let's get that. Let's get the images of Asia, of the so-called virgin child with mother. All right? Now, I go deep in depth into these particular lessons, usually during the academy. And there are some things that we're going to bring out in the academy this year, dealing with Satan's seed on the next level. And I think that's the second week of the class, right?
Yeah.
The first week is creation, and the second week is tracing Satan's seed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have done some extensive research that add to tracing Satan's seed that encompasses this particular lesson, that actually let you know that beyond any shadow of a doubt, Satan himself also had children in this earth, not just the fallen angels. So in tracing Satan's seed, we're going to go into that. All right? So when you hear about some of these legend stories of Zeus and all these different gods who came and dealt with women and bear Hercules and all that, they're hiding Satan's interaction with mankind. And I'm going to go into that the second week, which is 3 weeks from now, and tracing Satan's seed. But it all encompasses really into one. I'm just concentrating on the Buddhist religion because we begin so much email and others who seeing that our people are leaving the churches based on the overturning of the true relationships that we used to have in church. And now our people relate Christ to this new age movement in church, and they're just walking away from it altogether. When really the churches, their new age prosperity movement was the segue to lead you into the new age. That's what it is. You understand? But really, it all starts from the beginning. Satan is really revealing himself, bringing everyone back to the original religion. That was at the Tower of Babel, when there was one world, one language, and one understanding under Satan and a demigod, Nimrod. Now, I'm going to go into it and show you in the beginning when there was one language, one tongue, to show you that even though these religions all all fragmented out of one and have different facets and took on their own, I would say, culture within religion, really all the religions of the earth started in the beginning as one religion. Now, Satan is just bringing them all together as one in the new age. And I see so many people who was once Christian and their families were once Christian, no matter whether you're black, white, or whatever. Everyone now is morphing into this Buddhist religion. And the way you'll know, you go into people's houses or you sit down with others, or you can hear the music they're playing, and or certain incense that that they're lighting, and then you'll look in the corner, you'll see a little statue or a little fat Buddha somewhere, just in the corner, totally innocent, good people. But we're gonna get to the bottom of what's really behind that religion, and it links to the divas. You notice when our women become great singers, or they become what you would call stars, there's a term that's placed on them called divas. That's also demonic, linking directly into the origin of the Buddhist religion. But let me first go to Genesis, and let's go to where it all began.
This is Genesis chapter 11, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech.
So at one point, the whole earth was of one language and one speech. We know this language to be the ancient Phoenician Hebrew. All right. Now, when it says of one speech, that one speech is one idea that's being portrayed or being laid down to the multitude of the people outside of the Most High's elect, outside of Shem's family. That means all the people was under one worship, one understanding, not under the Most High God. Outside of Shem's family, the whole nation was voluntarily, knowingly worshiping the fallen. Read.
And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar.
They found a plain in the land of Shinar, which we know today is modern-day Iraq or Babylon. This is the origin of the Babylonian religion. So all these things, these Asian religions, all of them are embedded within this particular philosophy, this particular time after the flood. Read.
And they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar.
Go ahead.
And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth.
Now let's make this clear. This sort of sounds similar to when you read in Genesis, the first chapter, let us make man in our image. So when you look at this, let us, automatically one would think some people came together and say, well, let us make a tower. But no. This direction of these particular people were actually from the principalities and powers that were operating in the earth, chiefly Satan and the fallen angels. That's why it says, let us make a tower. They were being directed in one speech. Read that again there.
And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower.
Now listen distinctly concerning this tower. Read.
Whose top may reach unto heaven.
Whose top may reach unto heaven. See? So this wasn't just someone building a building here, or some people get together and say, let's build a building. They were looking to deal with technology in this particular building that would catapult them into the heavenly realm, from whence the angels fell. Okay? That's what Satan promised from the beginning. Hold that and let's get Isaiah real quick. That's 14. And let's read the 12th verse.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12.
Go ahead.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
How did you fall from heaven, O Lucifer?
Son of the morning.
He was called son of the morning because all the morning stars in creation used to sing to the Most High every morning. Lucifer was one of the son of the mornings. There was many son of the mornings. Lucifer was one. Read.
How art thou cut down to the ground?
How did you get cut down to the ground? Read.
Which didst weaken the nations.
Go ahead.
For thou hast said in thine heart.
He has said in his heart what?
I will ascend into heaven.
He promised to go back into the heavens. See? Read.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
That was the true purpose of the Tower of Babel. To exalt himself above the stars of the Most High. Read.
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
Also, he's saying that he will control the gates and portals of the Most High. This is the message that Lucifer gave to those who would follow him. That he will be like God. He was from there. And if they help him, he will actually help them in this earth, and he will take those that are obedient to him with him. See? So it wasn't some people just building a building, a nice tall skyscraper. No. This was an ideology. This was a mission, technology that they would utilize to get into the heavenly realm. Chiefly operating with the son of Satan at that time, Nimrod, as the king of earth. Satan have always operated with the kings of this earth since ancient Babylon. Right? So when you look at the kings of Egypt, on and on and on, the kings of Persia, on and on and on. These are all kings that are linked directly with the fallen one. So I don't care what religion they use to cloak their true intentions. We know that according to the Bible, this is the mission at the hierarchy of all religion. Let's go back to Genesis 11.
The book of Genesis, the 11th chapter, and the 5th verse.
Go ahead.
And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded.
Go ahead. So now, to show you that this mission in one speech in this building was against the Creator. This wasn't the Most High's mission. This was Satan's mission. And you're going to see that America's and the European world's mission is embodied in that same mission at the Tower of Babel. Under the same mission by the same God. Some people might ask, what does this got to do with the Buddhist religion? I'm going to show you. Okay. Buddhist is really I'm going to put it out there. Buddhist is really the religion of this earth that's right next to right out calling on Satan himself. You might as well join the Church of Satan. It's the next level. Okay? It's the next level of Satanism. And it's cloaked, but I'm going to get there in a moment. Read.
Verse 6. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one.
The people is one.
And they have all one language. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do.
So that means if they're not stopped, and if the Most High don't stop the gods that are leading these particular people, they will actually accomplish their mission to go into the heavens and to be like the Most High and fight against the Most High. See, that's the true mission. That's the true agenda of religion. Religion don't have anything to do with, as they say, being peace and family oriented and coming together. No. Satan's coming together is to help him with his mission. That's his mission is he is bound. You have to realize this spirit who was once in the heavenly realm have been banished and bound to our terrain. He hates here. He hates being confided to our terrestrial plane. He hates it. So the mission is to get all the people, let them get all the peace and come together, because now if they can come together, he can now bring his agenda with them so that they can use their sweat, labor, their prayers, everything to help him accomplish his mission. He don't care about us. He don't care about you. He have a mission. So, but first, he must appear as an angel of light and bring the people together. See? The Tower of Babel, right? Tower of Babel. Give the people what they need. Give them tranquility. Give them religion. Give them Christmas. Give them tradition. Have them feel good. But as long as their spirit is working for the other side, outside of the Creator, to help Satan accomplish his mission, that's the true purpose of religion. That's why I say we don't deal with no religion. We're the children of God. We're the children of Israel. I have no need of dealing with any religion. And when people say, well, you're dealing out of the Bible, that's religion. No, that's what you were taught. Okay? These are our laws, statutes, and commandments. These are our bylaws. Okay? That's like saying that someone following the Constitution in America is a religion. No, these are our bylaws. This is our message from our Creator. It's not a religion. It's a way of life. Okay. Finish reading.
Verse 7. Go to. Let us go down and confound their language.
So now the Most High sent out 70 angels. It tells us that in the book of Jasher. And the 70 angels took on a nation and picked the people and divided the nations at that time under 70 different languages. See? Why? Because if they all understood the same thing, they would be able to continue to build this technology that would actually get Satan back to the heavenly realm. See, there's physical technology in this earth that can be used. Okay? It can be used to actually operate and help others from this terrain operate into the spiritual realm. Okay? But it needs physical matter now because Satan have lost his power. So they would have to rape the earth and get different types of metals and different types of things and work hard to build this construct. But nonetheless, the Most High says that if he would have allowed them to do this, they would have accomplished it. To tell you that there's technology in the earth that can actually get people out past our firmament. To prove that, they're accomplishing it now. See? They are accomplishing it now. They have now set their nest amongst the stars like the book of Obadiah said they would. This is what they were trying to do from the beginning. Religion is just I would say the initiation into getting the people to first come together as one for the mission. Okay? That's just the base initiation. That's what religion is. Once you have the people as one, like in the Tower of Babel, then you can use them because they will work in your corporations to build your construct. Sound familiar? It's the same thing, brothers and sisters. And I wanted to go here because really, being a Buddhist, that's more dangerous. That's more hell-bent. That's way in Christianity in itself, the paganism is wrong. But if they can get you out of the Bible into this, you're done. At least there's some connection to Christ if you hold on to the Bible. The Bible is still the true book. But being a Buddhist moves you out of that realm to the point where you're only controlled by the Asian gods, the Babylonian gods. And you come to them for everything. You no longer depend on the Most High. And guess what? A lot of your blessings are heard. I mean, a lot of your prayers are heard and you receive them as blessings. I'm going to go there because even in the Buddhist religion, Satan at the top tells you that he'll give you things. I'm going to go there. But finish reading.
Verse 7. Go to, let us go down and confound their language.
Let us go down and what?
Confound their language.
Confound their language. So he sent 70 angels to break the earth down into, at that time, was 70 different dialects. 70 different languages. Now, there's many languages because a lot of languages fractured off of those 70. But originally, there was 70 different languages that confounded the Tower of Babel. Read.
That they may not understand one another's speech.
So now that they can't understand each other, what? They can't communicate. It tells you in the book of Jasher, the book of the upright one, is that because they could not understand each other, bricks would fall down and hit others and kill people. And keep in mind, the building became so tall in height that it would take 1 year for one brick to get from the base to where they were before the tongues were confounded. It would take 364 days for one brick to get from the bottom of the earth to the top. To the terrain to the top. 1 year it would take a brick, right? Mm-hmm. That's how tall this thing was. But sooner or later, now that people couldn't communicate, when one says lift up the brick, one would think to let it go. And it was the bricks were coming down fast. From a year's time, the speed would come down and just smash people on the way down. Started killing each other off to the point where the people left off from building it. They couldn't understand each other. See? But how did Satan accomplish his mission into bringing the whole world into one language and one speech again, like ancient Babylon? What did he do? He gave us the technology in this earth of the computer. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what language you're in now. You can speak fluently and get a relationship with someone speaking a different language right now on your computer. Get to know everything about them, and the computer will translate it for you. Mm-hmm. Right? Read on.
Verse 8. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence.
So the Most High scattered them abroad from thence. Read.
Upon the face of the earth, of all the earth. And they left off to build the city.
See that? And they left off to build the city. But when they left off to build the city, even though they spoke different languages, the religion and the ideology and worships that they learned in the land of Shinar continued in their respective areas, thus giving you different religions with the same core base in different languages throughout the earth. So one person may call it being a Buddhist. Another person may call it Islam. Another person may call it today, not knowing that Christ wasn't dealing with paganism. We'll call Christianity one thing, when really it's all the Christianity we have today is ancient Babylonian. It's not the Christianity that Christ gave us. And that's why when we mention the word Christians, we're very careful with that. To say that we don't renounce Christians, because the true patriarchs of Christ and the disciples were called Christians. But we make sure we put that out there that we are pre-Constantine Christians. That's the difference. The Christians today are the pagan Christians. We're being taught the Roman understanding, taking us back into ancient Rome and paganism and their traditions. just using Christ's name. See, but those that were before Constantine, before the integration, were the real Christians. So we don't denounce Christians. We denounce the Christians that are taught and that believe the ideology and the religion that came with the Constantine pagan infiltration. That particular religion, because Rome itself got all their ideologies and religions from where? You got it, ancient Babylon. But Rome was on the next level with it too, because they were also linked to the fallen gods, with their giving their children to fallen gods, including Satan himself. And we're going to go into that next week, but I wanted to put that out there. I want to touch on the Asian side and the Buddhist side first. And next week we're going into Rome and the demigods of Rome. All right. So now they went off and they went and took their religions into these different areas. Right? Now you have the Babylonian religion in one part of the country of Asia, could be China, whatever the case is, under the sons of Japheth. And they're calling their thing one thing, but it's really deeply rooted with ancient Babylon. I'm going to show you some pictures in a moment. Give me one moment here. All right. Now, let's show the brothers and sisters some of the statues that was from ancient Babylon, an example.
This is the two Babylons, the papal worship, proved to be the worship of Nimrod and his wife.
Nimrod and his wife.
By Reverend Alexander Hislop.
Go ahead. Now look at these images real quick. Put them right there. See these images right there? See them? One of them look Asian, right? Right here. Asian. Look at the images. Right? With the child, the virgin child. See, a lot of you would like to relate this to Christ, but it have nothing to do with Christ. They're called the Madonna. Look at this one here, from ancient Babylon. They call the Madonna. See? So some people might ask, well, how is it that these same images of Christ, similar stories of Christ and Mary, were in ancient times before Christ was born? And see, a lot of the religions and a lot of these atheists use that fact as a point of claiming that the Bible is plagiarism, and that Christ's story is only from ancient times, when that's not the case at all. Okay? Number one, Satan is not an originator of anything. So he knew the story of Christ going forward. He knew the stories, but he hijacked it and did something satanic with it. Now, number one, the virgin child of ancient Babylon is Semiramis, the mother of Esther or Easter, who came down in the river Euphrates in an egg, which is written of in this book. And the son, the virgin child, Tammuz, is supposed to be the incarnation of Nimrod. And they say that Nimrod was born without a father. Now, this is the ancient Nimrod that's worshipped during the same Tower of Babel. Now, I'm going to give you an image here before your screen. One moment. Here's an image of a Buddha, female deity. Now, they'll never tell you that this is deeply enshrined with the goddesses of ancient Babylon. They'll never tell you this. Right? All these religions come from ancient Babylon, including the Buddhist religion. Here it is, you have we have guys worshiping a male Buddha. So Buddha is not just male, Buddha is female. So these are the worships that happened, that began in ancient Babylon in different languages. So when the Catholic Church go out for missionary into any respective area outside of their dominion, they usually go to each society and say, well, you may call the god or goddesses this, but we call the god and goddesses Mary and Christ, in relation or in introduction to their Christianity, introducing their Christianity to an area who have never heard of our modern day Christ in their language. So they'll just relate our Christ and the Bible's Mary to the gods and goddesses of the earth. Now, how are they able to do this? They know that all these stories correlate beginning with the religion from ancient Babylon. So Satan sent out missionaries, not to bring people together under the Most High, but to bring them together under his one world religion so that he can use their spirit and their work and their labor to get back into the heavenly realm. Now, I need you to read Isaiah real quick. Go to Isaiah 42 and 8.
Isaiah chapter 42, verse 8.
Go ahead.
I am the Most High.
I am the Most High. So the Most High constantly tells his name, Ahaya. I am the Most High.
That is my name.
That is his name.
And my glory will I not give to another.
The Most High will never give his glory to another God. He will never give his glory to another God. So when you see these people out worshiping like you see here to this particular God or goddess, what is really the purpose behind it? Who is this? When you see guys standing like the Asians here standing before this Buddha here, this God, who is that? What is its purpose? Right? And see, and that's why all these religions try to downplay the Bible and exclude the Bible, because the Bible actually fervently fight against these particular practices. These practices opens the door for demonic forces to operate and to control people. And I'm going to show you that in a moment. Read.
Neither my praise to graven images.
Neither my what?
My praise to graven images.
Neither my what?
My praise to graven images.
The Most High will never give his praise or do anything that people will praise graven images and claim it's him. So look at this graven image here. If that's not the Most High, then who are they worshiping? There's only two powers. Who are they worshiping? I'm going to show you in a moment. I will show you in a moment. Go to Psalms 96 real quick.
Psalms chapter 96, verse 4. For the Most High is great.
For the Most High is great.
And greatly to be praised.
Go ahead.
He is to be feared above all gods.
So our God, Ahaya, is to be feared above all gods. See? To show you that there's many gods in this earth. But we are to worship the God that's from the throne in heaven. Read.
For all the gods of the nations
all the gods of the nations, and we know all the nations started in Babel together, are what?
Are idols.
All the heathens' gods are what?
Idols.
They are what?
Idols.
They are idols. Read.
But the Most High made the heavens.
But it's the Most High that made the heavens. See? Now, these so-called fallen gods look to take credit for the Most High's work because they were used as laborers in the heaven under Christ when the heavens and earth were created. So because they were part of the creation, speaking of Lucifer himself, he tried to take credit as the creator. And that's how he presents himself to the heathen, to the ignorant. Now let's just transition this whole thing into the Buddhist teaching. I printed something out, and you can go there yourselves. And just so that I didn't have to use the whole book, World Religions, which really is probably thousands of pages on each religion. I didn't want to go there, so I wanted to condense it into something that enunciate or just magnifies certain points that we need to know, so that we have a conscious understanding of what we're dealing with this particular religion and avoid it. Okay, because it's never introduced as Satanism. It's always introduced as what? It's always introduced as something that's beneficial to help us prosper, to help us meditate, to help us meditate, to help us relax, to help us channel. So what are you relaxing for? What are you meditating for? What are you opening yourself up for? It's what they're not telling you. So you can go there yourself. You can actually put this in because I just wanted some information that can give you bullet points on each god that's worshipped that they will never tell you in the introduction of the Buddhist religion. They'll tell you right out that being a Buddhist was just being nice to others and treating others the way you would want to be treated. Who won't accept that? But I need to know who's this? That's what I want to know. What this got to do with me doing nice towards other people? Who's this character with 4 arms? We're going to show you. I need you to read this on Buddhist Gods and Goddesses. You can actually get this yourself. And this is actually an introduction into what we'll be teaching on the fallen gods in the academy. I just wanted to put this out there now. Buddhist gods. Read right there.
Buddhist gods. Buddhist people don't refuge gods, but they only ask help from gods.
They only ask help from gods. Read.
Lots of Buddhist gods can be attracted to you by mind requesting.
See, they can be attracted to you by mind requesting. So when you sing that movie, What Love's Got to Do with It, and Tina Turner was actually using this bell and ringing this bell to this god, she was requesting something from this particular fallen deity or demon. She needed power to separate herself from Ike, or to get the spirit to attack Ike to stop Ike from actually dealing with her. Since they want to use that as an example, I will use it as an example. She used spiritual intervention to fight with her against that brother. Okay. Read.
It says lots of Buddhist gods can be attracted to you by mind requesting.
By mind requesting. So you must yourself voluntarily request it.
It's meditation.
That's meditation.
Mm-hmm.
That's meditation. That's why you're relaxing and allowing yourself to be entered through meditation, channeling. And see, and that's why a lot of these martial art teachers and all that can do some supernatural things in the arts. They were able to open themselves up to the next level and be entered by demons, by spirits. Read.
If they take your requesting into consideration, they will show it by dream or some sign.
See, they usually will give you a dream or a sign that your prayer or your requests have been heard. See? Read.
These dreams can be seen by you or you or your family member who has best precepts. Then you need to transfer merit for that God by doing big merit work by yourself. Lord Buddha said practicing of devotion to Triple Gem. Observe 5 precepts, Dharma learning, donations.
You have to do Dharma learning, donations,
and develop wisdom, help to born in own desired heavens. Among these 6 heavens, Tuzista, heaven is special heaven, where you have only real Buddhist gods, goddesses, and Bodhisattva gods.
Now, you notice how they talk about the gods of the heavens, right? You would think it's speaking of the gods of our heaven, but it's not. Because also it tells us in scripture, even in Enoch, that there's fallen angels that's restricted within the heavens, that's called the Gregory, that are restricted and can't go out into the upper heavens, but they must be confound in the inner heavens of the earth. See, these are the demons that you see operating all up and around on what you would call so quote unquote UFOs that are controlling your leaders of this earth. They're the Gregory. See? You must acknowledge these particular gods, these fallen gods that are actually confided or confounded or restricted within the heavenly earth, the heavens within the earth. Now listen to this clearly. I want you to name some of these, the name of the heavens.
It says here are brief descriptions about the 6 heavens.
Here's the 6 heavens that you must worship to in being a Buddhist.
It says Katira Maha Rajika.
Now, how long have that heaven existed according to this? The name of the main god. Go there.
It says Sato Ra Aram. Salaki for the pronunciation.
Satara Aram.
Gods. It says 9 million.
Saying that this top god of the heavens was living for 9 million years. So if you now believe in being a Buddhist, that automatically take you out of the realm of the Bible, the Most High Creator, Adam and Eve, the time period in which the earth really exists. Now you're moving outside that realm, outside that spectrum, into a new ideology in which you must believe that this God operated for 9 million years as over the Buddhist religion. This don't have nothing to do with some fat guy running around in Asia doing nice things to people. Who's this God in another heaven that you're not telling the people? And our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, dealing with straight ignorance. You'll be invited into this and think it's about being peaceful with your fellow man. Who are these gods you're going to for help? That's coming into that you're actually inviting into your realm through meditation. Here's one. Who's the next one?
It says Tawatimza.
Tawatimza is the second heaven, right?
It says 33 kingdoms, Sakra Devandra, 36 million years.
So he's 36 million years. He started. Read.
The third is Yamaya, fresh-minded gods.
So Yamaya is fresh-minded gods. And Yamaya sounds sort of like who? Read.
It says Suyama, 144 million years.
Go ahead.
It says Tuzista, God stay and happy. Santuzista, 576 million years.
576 million years. Look at this madness. And they'll make you believe that something is wrong with you if you believe the God of the Bible. But yet you're introduced into many gods under the Buddhist religion. See? It's not about meditation. It's not about peace, brothers. It's about, brothers and sisters, it's about having you relax and focus on the names they give you to enter your realm, to enter your home. And I'll tell you this, the majority of the time when you let them in, they never leave. They don't leave. You're talking about top forces. These not the small demons that may come into your house through sin. Okay? You're calling on some of the highest deities to enter your home in the Buddhist religion. Satan is now coming to the next level in which he's actually putting strongholds on houses through this religion. Because sin, alcohol, drugs, all those lower levels of Satanism is not fast enough for him. So now they're introducing the New Age religion in which you are actually calling in strong demonic forces that may never leave. And then eventually they take over you. And your mommy who just wanted to separate herself from a relationship is no longer mommy. Okay? That's something else in there. What else we have here in the Buddhist religion?
It says,
go ahead. I need you to get there.
It says, name of heaven, number 5, Namana Rati, heaven of gods do creation. Name of main god is Sunamita. Lifetime in human years, 2,304 million.
So lifetime in human years, he's how old?
2,304 million.
2,304 million years old. He is in human years, as they claim. So you must believe this. So and guess what? When Buddhists operate and meditate, they do believe it because they are told by these particular spirits. Mm-hmm. Okay? These are how these spirits operate. Now, I need you to go here real quick. Read the Sataraman gods. The Sataraman gods that are spoke of in the Buddhist religion.
It says Satara Waram gods. 4 main gods rule in 4 directions of the world.
4 main gods rule in what?
In 4 directions of the world.
In 4 directions of the world, read.
In 4 inhuman types, from heaven of 4 regions of Qatar Maha Rajika. These 4 gods, also called as Satara Waram gods, and stay under rules of God Chakra Devendra. These 4 gods separate some devil leaders for protect virtuous Buddhist people.
Read it again.
It says these 4 gods separate some devil leaders for protect virtuous Buddhist people.
Now, what's going on here? Satan, being the plagiarist he is, they have taken this from the 4 winds of heaven that you read all through the Bible. In Revelations, the 7th chapter, when the Most High told the angels to seal from the 4 winds of the heavens, they got 4 demons on the other side that you must worship to, that's supposed to be parallel to the Most High's 4 angels of the winds. Okay? Now, just say hypothetically, and it's not, that they were the 4 angels of the winds. Are you supposed to worship them as gods? And that's why Paul said, let's get it in Colossians, about the involuntary worshiping of angels. You're not supposed to take these gods or these angels, which another word for them are gods, and turn them into worship. And that's what the religions have done. Because Satan, don't forget why Satan fell. His main argument against the Most High, that the Most High told all angels to come to minister to the image of the Most High on earth. That angels were supposed to minister and help and follow the behest and the prayers of people. And Satan was like, no, I'm their superior in creation. They should worship me. So when Satan was banished to the earth, he made it where people will acknowledge and worship the angels instead of it being the other way around. Let's read the involuntary worshipment of angels.
Colossians chapter 2, verse 18. Let no man beguile you of your reward.
Do not let any man take your reward away from you. And I want to tell this to the brothers and sisters who may be considering the Buddhist religion, who think that there's something spiritual or high level spiritual on the right hand side, and it's embedded in Satanism. Don't let no man take you from Christ. You'll be better off, and even though Christian is pagan, you'll be better off staying in the Christian church. You're more safe there because at least you have Christ, according to your understanding. You go into that, Christ is taken out altogether, and without Christ, we're nowhere. You can be nice and do all these things that they claim you can only do as a Buddhist, staying where you are. You don't need to channel and ring bells and open up a closet so a demon can come out and take over your home. Read.
Let no man beguile you of your reward.
Don't let any man beguile you of your reward.
In a voluntary humility.
In a voluntary humility of what?
And worshiping of angels.
And worshiping of what?
And worshiping of angels.
And worshiping of angels. See? It's an involuntary humility, which means normally it will be introduced to you as something harmless. But really, you're being told to worship something in between yourself and the Most High, which is totally satanic. Because you know who's between you and the Most High? Normally, if it's not Christ, you got it. Lucifer. He's the alternative. He have turned himself into different gods with different names because at the Tower of Babel, the languages were split. So Satan is called one thing in one area and another thing in another area, but they're all the same God. So when you hear this statement that, well, you may worship this and I worship that, but we all worshiping the same God, to a lot of degrees, it's true. But it's not the creator you're worshiping. It's Satan. You just took on another name that was given to one society or another society due to the split at the Tower of Babel. But all in all, it's still the God of the Tower of Babel. Read on. Read that again.
Let no man beguile you. This is Colossians 2:18.
Go ahead.
Let no man beguile you.
Let no man trick you
of your reward in a voluntary humility and worshiping of angels.
Go ahead.
Intruding into those things which ye have not seen.
Intruding into things which thou have not seen.
Vainly puffed up by his fleshly mind.
See that? Don't walk into the unknown and start dealing with the unknown. Okay? Just because it's something new outside of what you've been taught in captivity. It's not new at all. It's ancient. You're dealing with some of the highest level stronghold demonic forces from ancient times. That's what you're dealing with in the Buddhist religion. Now let's go to this divas thing. Let's go to the divas now. You see, they got Rihanna, diva. You had Beyonce, the top diva. You had Madonna, which was called a diva. You had our sister Whitney, may the Lord bless her soul, that was called a diva. Types of divas in Buddha mythology. Let me show you this diva, right? This demon. That's the name it should be. When they take on these alternative, what you would call identities that they have entered them. And when they become this new person, even though they're one person, they're innocent, they let the diva demon take control. Hey, it's real, brothers and sisters. Even the term the thug thing, who brought that out? Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons brought that out, that it was an ancient demon or ancient statue that he had in his house, which was a thug from ancient Persia. And the thug This ancient statue was dressed just like our brothers be dressing, that's thugs. Pants down, he was looking like saggy and all that. An ancient demon that they call in to help them in the music business as thugs. It's ancient Asian. It's Persian. You notice all of our people are going into that. They're out of the African thing now. And they're moving more Persian and Asian and all that. It's going back to the ancient gods, the Babylonian gods. Last but not least, because there's so many things I need to cover here. Let's go into the Buddhist mythology, types of divas. The Buddhist mythology, types of demons. That's what it should be called, types of demons. But it says types of divas, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Before you go there, I need you to name the main divas. The main divas of the Persian, or what you would call the Buddhist religion. And these are divas that are called upon through prayer in the Buddhist religion. Name all of them.
It says Agni.
Agni is one diva.
Indra.
Indra is one.
Soma. Savitir. Vayu. Varuna. Maratas. Aditya. Rudra. Vishnu. Brahma. Pusha. Brihaspati. Ashwinis. Vedavas. Prithvi, Salakia once again for the pronunciation.
Go ahead.
Indian names. It says Dayus, Antar Riksha, Dishas, Morda, and
Prajapati.
Prajapati.
These are all the divas of the Buddhist religion, of ancient Asia. They won't tell you this. And sometimes through initiation, they will actually let them belly dance and all that to bring in some of the spirits or the divas in them to entice men through lust. Similar to how we do it in our earth today with our sisters swinging around poles and getting this alternative person that comes into them while they're dancing and all that. That's the divas. The deceptive divas that lead mankind to lust. There go your Buddhist religion. Let me get it here. The powers of the divas. Read that right there.
It says powers of the divas.
Go ahead.
From a human perspective, divas share the characteristics of being invisible to the physical human eye. The presence of a diva can be detected by those humans who have opened the divine eye.
The divine eye, the all-seeing eye you see on those videos. Read.
An extrasensory power.
And what some of people call what's another name they call
the
for?
Third eye.
The third eye. What's another name they got?
The pineal gland.
The pineal satanic gland. Read.
An extrasensory power by which one can see beings from other planes.
One can do what?
Can see beings from other planes.
That one can see beings from other planes. This is what's helping some of these singers, these artists get to the next level of their artistry. Read.
Their voices can also be heard by those who have cultivated a similar power of the air. Most divas are also capable of constructing illusory forms by which they can manifest themselves to the beings of lower worlds. Higher and lower divas can have even have to do this between each other. Devas do not require the same kind of sustenance as humans do, although the lower kinds do eat and drink. The higher sorts of divas shine.
These are demons, folks.
With their own intrinsic luminosity. Divas are also capable of moving great distances speedily and flying through the air.
Demons.
Although the lower devas sometimes accomplish this through magical aids, such as a flying chariot.
A flying chariot. What is that? That's your so-called UFOs that they hide in Area 51 and all these areas. They're actually using those vehicles to fly within the heavenly realm, within the firmament. There go your divas. So when our people, I'll need you to finish reading. So when our people turn over into the dark side within the industry and take on that term diva, they're telling mankind that they have accepted this a demon to control and to direct their path and career. See? This is the Buddhist teachings, brothers and sisters. That's the stuff, and they're taking over. And I don't know if a lot of you, whoever went to college, I don't know if a lot of you, but as soon as you go to college, what do they introduce us to? Alternative Persian mythology religion. That's one of the first courses they introduce us to when you go into college. I know. Giving you that alternative, trying to break you from that base and that foundation that cultivated you up until that time. They break you from that. Here it is. They teach you evolution. They teach you all these things outside the Bible, and they introduce you to Persian mythology. That's one of the courses you can actually take. As a minor, they would just give it to you so you can get some extra credit, when really they're opening you up to divas, demons, and different spirits, breaking you from your cultural foundation. Usually it's the church and the Bible. Right? Read on.
It says, humans are said to have originally had many of the powers of the devas, not requiring food, the ability to fly through the air, and shining by their own light.
Go ahead.
Over time, they began to eat solid foods. Their bodies become coarser and their powers disappeared.
Now, I need you to read these bullet points when it comes to the Buddhist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you leave off at here?
All
right. I need you to read here. Buddhist devas.
It says, Buddhist devas are not immortal.
They're not immortal.
They live for a very long time, finite periods of time. They live for very long, but finite periods of time, ranging from thousands to billions of years.
Now, go down here. I can't read them all. Go Buddhist devas.
It says, Buddhist devas are not to be worshipped.
Now, devas are not to be worshipped. Read.
While some individuals among the devas may be beings of great moral authority and prestige, and thus deserving a high degree of respect. No deva can be a refuge or show the way of escape from samsara, or control one's rebirth.
Claiming that there's certain spirits that can control you coming back into the earth, which is another deception under the Buddhist religion. They teach you that you live over and over and over again, which is a bold-faced lie. One of the greatest tricks Satan has played on mankind is to make you believe you have another opportunity so you can waste the one you're living with now. On and on and on I've read through this, and I thank, again, Brother Eldon, Brother Yerachmiel for putting a lot of this together. One statement that's made, a matter of fact, let me get this real quick for you. One moment. One moment.
You getting that? I want to read this real quick from Enoch.
Go ahead, read
it. Once again, reading one of the quotes from the Power of the Devas, it states that the Devas do not require the same kind of sustenance as humans do, although the lower kinds do eat and drink. And that links into the book of Enoch, where it speaks about the spirits of the giants. It says, this is Enoch chapter 15, verse 11. And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth, and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst, and cause offenses. And these spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against the woman, because they have proceeded from them. So this basically shows the connection between the spirits, the demonic spirits of the giants from the time of the flood, all the way to these spirits which they call devas, which once again it states, devas do not require the same kinds of sustenance as humans do, although the lower kinds do eat and drink. The higher sorts of devas shine with their own intrinsic luminosity.
Now check that out. Now the Bible identified them as demons that were from the children of the giants or the titans before the flood. Our modern day society and education hide the fact that these demons rule over the principalities and over the politicians and governments of this earth. And they are actually set up to fight against us and our God. They are set up to stop us from joining forces with our God, the Most High God, so that we can fight on their side opposed to the righteous side of the Most High. Now, there's one more thing I want to bring out, in which it tells you that they will actually give a blessing, a so-called blessing. That they will give a blessing to a person. One moment. Let me see if I can get it here. That they have many names, but if you purposely call on the right name, that they'll actually give you even more if you just worship him right out. He have many names, but if you call on the top name of Satan, then you can get even more. Okay, let me see if I have that here. One moment here. So when you look at Hindu worship, Buddhist worship, Persian worship, it's really all the same. It's really, and a matter of fact, Islam came from the same religion. When they had one God for each day of the year, this is the religion we're talking about. It's the Buddhist, Hindu, Asian, Japhetic, Satanic, Babylonian religion. You see here? All right. Okay, I guess I'll touch on the rest of it when we go into the fallen gods and the serpent seed within the academy, because I'm really over my time, well over my time for this particular lesson. So I'm going to say, brothers and sisters, if you know someone that's a Buddhist that are looking into these particular type of religions, the New Age religion, introduce them to some of what we went over today. A lot of the references we have, we can actually give those references to you so that you can protect yourself from the involuntary worshiping of angels and demons and not fall to the New Age movement. The Buddhist religion is a religion, it's an introduction into the satanic New Age religion. It's the ancient religion of Babylon right out. All right? I need you to go there again for me.
Colossians 2:18.
Read.
Let no man beguile you of your reward in a voluntary humility and worshiping of angels.
So let no man beguile you of your reward by having you involuntarily worship something that you have no idea what it is. Stick with the Bible. Stick with Christ. Okay? Don't ever let anyone give you alternative into a heathenistic religion such as Buddhism. Read.
Intruding into those things which ye have not seen, vainly puffed up by his fleshly mind.
Now I need you to go to St. John 4, where it says, ye worship and know not what you worship.
St. John 4:22.
Read.
It says, ye worship, ye know not what.
The majority of our people out there have no idea what they're worshiping. Read.
We know what we worship.
We know what we worshiping.
For salvation is of the Jews.
Because salvation is of the Jews. We are Israelites. We're the people of the Bible. We're the people of Ahia, Ashar, Ahia, who are looking to follow the path and road of his son Yeshua, who was sent as a sacrifice so that we can one day stand as a people and rule our kingdom. This kingdom is Satan's kingdom. The religions of the world are Satan's religions. There's not one religion in this earth that belongs to the Most High. When I say that, I'm talking about mainstream constructs and religions that are upheld in our society. Every last one of them are satanic. Okay? And the end of it all is the depths of hell. That's the end of it. The end of those who choose that road. I don't care how much peace and tranquility they're claiming they're getting on this side. That road leads to hell. Because what? If you don't have Christ, if you don't have the Son, you don't have the Father. If you reject Christ for another religion, claiming that, well, it's just still the same principles as Christ, but it's not. You're worshiping fallen angels. You're worshiping demons. You're actually opening your house for demonic forces to control your house and to seek your children. It's a path to hell, and it's an outright disrespect to the Most High and his Son. All right? With that, we're going to continue this lesson and a further lesson going into things, the fallen angels within the academy. The academy begins March 23rd, Sunday, for those who want to be a part of it. If you want to be a part of it, it's a 3-month course. We have news. We have the lessons. We have, matter of fact, now Elder Lawyer and Brother Lawyer is going into grammatical and conversational Hebrew. He have actually injected that within it. We don't deal with the modern day Yiddish that you will learn in Israel today. Brothers that are teaching that, they're off because that is not the ancient Hebrew. We have Brother Lawyer, who have been well studied for a long time and have kept his studies intact, and the Most High blessed him to be able to help us go into conversational Hebrew. So if you want to be a part of it, send an email to gatheringas1 And also, we're going to move things to the next level with the academy, and I'll mention that the 23rd for those that'll be a part of it. With that, we hope you got something from this lesson and have some insight on what the Buddhist religion is and its origin. All right, and there's a lot more, but we're out of time, and of course we'll be touching more on this as the time grow near. All right. With that, I'm going to say shalom, but before I say shalom, I'm going to answer a few questions that you brothers and sisters may have.